Hello, sixth graders. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are good and you are doing okay. Welcome to Shot 2 in this curriculum. Today's lesson will be the first lesson in our second unit, Living Things in the Environment, which is about the food chains in local habitat. You can find this lesson page 22 and 23. Today's lesson, we're going to talk about the food chain in local habitats. But to talk about that, we have to talk about what is the local habitat. What is the local habitat? Have you ever heard about the word habitat before? No? Never? Ever? Okay. The habitat is the home or where the place where the living things live. This habitat should supply the food, the water, the shelter for the living thing to live there. The local habitat is the place where this living thing lives. Okay, and it's supplied by its needs. That is important, and this living thing needs it. Okay, this is the local habitat. It's the home or the place that the living thing lives in. Our environment may have many local habitats, like the garden may be a local habitat, the sea, the desert, the forest, the give me other example. All of those are local habitats. All of those are local habitats. Many living things may live in these local habitats. And as we know, living things are plants, animals, and humans. Those are the living things. The local habitat may be a home for many living things. And to live there, they have to find out their food to keep living, because without food they will not live properly. So this food that they will get, they may eat each other, right? Some insect may live in the garden, so they are feeding on the grass or on the leaves of the trees in this garden. So this is a feeding relationship. This is called the feeding relationship. Feeding relationship means who eats who to keep alive. Also, may other birds come to eat this insect. This is a feeding relationship. There is an animal which can eat this bird and another animal which can eat this bird. This is a feeding relationship, so these animals keep living and these animals survive in this local habitat. And this is what we call the food chain. This feeding relationship is called the food chain. This feeding relationship is called the food chain. In any habitat, there may be many food chains, or we may find hundreds of food chains, depending on the type of the plants over there, or the animals over there as well. For example, in your book, page 22, they give you an example of a garden habitat. A garden habitat. There is a plants in this garden. We have the spinach and we have the maize. Those are the plants in this habitat. Who eats these plants in this habitat? We have the caterpillar and the maize borer, which eat this, yes, this plant to live and to survive. Okay, there is a feeding relationship between the spinach and the caterpillar, and between the maize and the maize borer. These insects eat the leaves of this, and if you can see, this is a clear picture of this relationship. So this is a relationship between them, a feeding relationship, that this caterpillar will eat the leaves of the spinach. Okay, this feeding relationship is called food chain. It's called food chain. The food chain explains us the transferring of energy, or the food, how is it going from one living thing to the to the other. As you can see, we may depict or show this relationship by an arrow, by an arrow between the two living things that we have. And this arrow means this living thing is eaten by this. This is eaten by this. We have leaves, arrow, caterpillar. That means the leaves are eaten by the caterpillars. Leaves are eaten by the caterpillars. Here also we have the maize stalk, arrow, and the stalk border, which means the maize stalk are eaten by the stalk border. Okay, so we show or we depict the feeding relationship or the food chain as follow: the name of the living thing, an arrow, then the name of the other living thing. This arrow between us means the first one is a food for the second one. This is it. You have to give me or to write me the feeding relationship of picture 1 and picture 2. Picture 1 and picture 2. Try to do them and let me see what will you do. That was in your learner's book, page 22 and 23, and you have to do also your activity book, page 16. Page 16. Page 16. Okay? Thank you and see you next time.